Hello guys. This should like awaken you, transcend you. You should understand this. You should have clarity in this. I gotta tell you why. Because it's consciousness, right? You are consciousness. Consciousness always expands. Just look at it. It does. You came back here. You're reincarnated, or what I'm saying? Came out the womb. You just keep coming because it's consciousness. Consciousness is always gonna expand itself, whether it's manual or automatic. Just look at a factory. The machines are able to build the simulation of the items that's there. And if you look at these items and or at a microscopic scale, they all have the same patterns because it's conscious at the end of the day. These things are all forms of consciousness. Why do you think you could find your own doppelganger too as well? Because it's consciousness. Consciousness will always expand itself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not separate from this. This is another form of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to use myself or whatever to put water in this because it's consciousness. It's not separate. You know what I'm saying? Consciousness is not separate. It's just expansive. These are just forms of consciousness. It's conscious in its form. And it's always going to explode itself. They don't look like they're moving, but if you look at a microscopic scale, the molecules are all moving around and it's growing slowly and slowly. But it's not actually growing slowly and slowly. The molecules are actually going fast for all the stuff to come. You just can't, you may not be able to perceive it with your two eyes, but it's all consciousness. It doesn't matter. Consciousness transcends past the duality where it's slow or fast. It just keeps going. You know what I'm saying? It's at a quick of an eye. So just live with your consciousness. Use all these stuff, these forms of consciousness as a brink. Just be one with it. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be your gateway to your divinity. This should awaken you. You are the great consciousness, you see? Consciousness will always expand itself. It always knows itself. It has patterns. Consciousness will create itself whether it's manual or automatic. It doesn't matter. You can look at like objects, right? You're looking at how it always has a basis of pattern. Just look at a cloth. If you look at it closely, you notice how it has a knitting pattern. Because everything is pattern because it itself is consciousness. Whether it's external or internal, it doesn't matter. Because consciousness transcends past all of this stuff. And it's able to stay the same and move the same because consciousness will always expand. It's the ever focus. It's the beyond. It may look like it's a still, but if you look inside, it just keeps on going. You know? If you look inside a circle, you're going to see like little, particle-like things. It's the green circle just expanding itself. It just keeps going. You know? Just look at your eyes, right? The middle of your eyes, right? And you're just going to notice that it just keeps on going because it itself is consciousness. Consciousness just recreates itself. It expands. Because that's what it is. It's the knower's a seer. You know? It's a doer. Like, you were looking at something, right? You're able to look at many things at once because it's so conscious. It's going to expand itself. It's the business. It's the great. If you live by that, the consciousness, right? Become one with everything, right? And just look at something like you're not separate. And you just be there. You will transform. I promise you. This should awaken you. Look at a water bottle, right? It's able to stand transparent no matter what. Just look at it. It doesn't matter what you put, you can still see through it because it's consciousness. You know? It's how you should be as a human being. That's your soul. It's the stillness. It's the ever stillness. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You know? Like, look at water. It doesn't matter if you twist or turn it or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you cook it, it's still going to be water because it itself is consciousness. It's able to stand still no matter what. You know what I'm saying? We can never run out of water because it itself is consciousness. Consciousness will always transform. You know, like when you have water and you heat it up, it turns into vapor, and and it goes somewhere else. You know, you'd see that it'll even create more water because it itself is consciousness. Consciousness will always recreate itself. You know, it's a pattern, whether it's manual or automatic. It doesn't matter because consciousness transcends past that because it itself is consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Just look at a laser beam. You notice how you point it at a wall, it's like a small dot. That's what consciousness is. It's like a central point, and as soon as you activate it, it will literally expand itself. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what it is. Or look at a flashlight. You know how it like, if you point at a wall, it's like a little dot, but when you like move it away, it's like it just spreads all over the place. This is consciousness. Hello, guys. We're at it again. You know what I'm saying? You are consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is a seer. It doesn't matter what you are in. If it sense, if it feels, if it hears, it's consciousness. Because if it sense, it's a big sensory. It's a big observation. That's what it is. Like your TV, right? It's able to turn on, you know, because it itself is a consciousness. Your phone is able to process files and speak and detect things because it itself is conscious. It uses a form of consciousness. Electricity, it may use a manual version of consciousness, but it's still conscious. That's what you are. The consciousness. You just gotta walk in it and move in it, and you will transcend and go beyond that. If you go to it at its core, all the stuff out here is controlled by its consciousness. Look at a rock. If you break it, it's still gonna be a rock, and it's still gonna be hard. It doesn't matter because it's consciousness. You know, it's able to do that. You know, you are more than that. It's just consciousness. You know, consciousness keeps going. It expands. Keep moving with consciousness. Adapt it to your daily habits, and you will awaken. Just live by it. This should awaken you. You are consciousness. What is consciousness? Everything is consciousness, right? All these stuff, it's not that it's an illusion. Look at this thing. It's not that it's an illusion. These are forms of consciousness because it has a pattern, right? Because consciousness will always create itself, whether it's manual or automatic. You say manual like a product or creating a car. These are forms of consciousness. They look the same because they're consciousness. Or you could look at reincarnation or sound. It always happens automatically. Consciousness could do that because it transcends past all of this. It doesn't matter because it's consciousness. It always has to. It expands. You know what I'm saying? You know, just look in the mirror. You know, you can look in your middle eye and it just keeps going because consciousness is gonna always keep going. It's gonna create itself. It's gonna reflect itself because it's consciousness. It's how it works. All the stuff in this world is just relative to the consciousness of humanity and everything. You know, and that's what it is, guys. It's really that simple. You know, you just got to live by that, be that, and that will be the gateway to your divinity. The one consciousness, unity consciousness, guys. It's that simple. You know, just you going to see, you just feel like you just rest because it's consciousness. Consciousness is going to create it, so if you're going to wake up, it's just consciousness, guys. Consciousness always expands. It's the vast. It's the major. You know, that's what you guys are. So